Thank you. There we go. Oh, hey, that's better. It's always nice to have sound on your live stream. Anyway, we won't just be talking about space weather. Today on the live stream, we'll be talking about perhaps whatever you like. So, yeah, thanks for the timely notification, Smash staff. All right. So, yeah, we've got a massive solar uptick going on, but that's not really what the weekly Wednesday live stream is about. It's more for us to talk about whatever you'd like us to talk about. So and thanks again for Smash staff letting me know that we have no sound. It must be the new layer that we have set up or something. I don't know. It's not really a big deal. And so, yeah, thanks for leaving comments, Sarita and Mr. Hamilton. So typically what we like to cover on our fantastic weekly Wednesday live streams is your basic news stories. So we'll start out with this one right here. A Smash News Network favorite, as if you follow me on Instagram, you would already know what's going on. It's, yeah, you see there's a lot of, it's a smoky place, that Canada. And by the way, we're located about here in Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania. And all of this is Canadian smoke. So in the last few hours, let's see, Scranton, Pennsylvania is getting plastered with smoke. It is very smoky. It's smoky enough that if we open the door, it smells like a campfire outside. So I did a 26-miler with a mountain climb today because that's the kind of thing that I do. Don't try it at home, kids, especially if you've got any sort of respiratory conditions, but it's all because the fitness has turned a corner. So had to get out there and do some testing on the mountain in the smoky conditions. It didn't really have any effect, folks, but again, people that have issues could have issues. That's why air quality alerts are issued, and frankly, I have been doing some airheaded things today, but that's not necessarily abnormal. So, as here in the Smash News Network, we're in our own world a significant portion of the time, trying to make that a world of reality, like stuff like nonfiction. Anyway, let's start out with our standard weekly Wednesday fare, which is to typically look at our favorite or perhaps least favorite news sources. So I think what I'll do here is I'll bring up the tri-screen setup, and this way we can have only a small amount of the screen taken up. By the way, there's today's ride. It featured a ride to the Velo Shop. If you have to do any bicycle shopping, do it at theveloshop.net, our UCI trade team. Anyway, yes, it is a team of people who know how to make bikes go slightly quickly at times. So yeah, it's exciting stuff going on with the Canadian smoke for sure. I mean, I'm going to leave that up here for a moment. But follow us on Instagram and Twitter if you don't otherwise. And again, we do have a solar uptick in the past couple of days here, as there are some significant new sunspots on the eastern limb. So that's why we're monitoring the GOES SUVI. Yes. So get a load of the enormous filaments that are hanging out. I mean, we've got just gigantic filaments. You can especially see those if you don't have polarized glasses on. You can especially see those after you come out of your bunker. And there's a view of that. These There's a south crown prominence down here, and then a huge filament up here. Also large crown prominence up here. It doesn't look prominent from this angle, but I assure you there's a lot of plasma hanging out up there. And also this North Pole coronal hole, which we've been talking about regularly in our daily space weather videos. So let's go to perhaps our least favorite news source. We're going to leave the NASA satellite site and head to, get this, cbsnews.com. So let me switch back to the tri-pane view because we don't want cbsnews.com to take up the whole screen, as that would be a huge travesty. That advertisement for Transformers Rise of the Beasts is a huge travesty. So I mean, this this is a good reason to use, you know, normally we'd use Opera Gaming for that, but right now we've got the GOES 304 angstroms in that. It's the upper left pane. We're just allowing the ads to play there in that tiny form. It should be fine. Will it vanish? Nope. Google Chrome will not block. So look at that. It's showing practically the same image that we're showing. Hey, like them apples. And what do we have? What do we have? And the top story is, map satellite images show wildfire smoke enveloping U.S. East Coast. I can attest to this. I swear to you, it smells like a campfire if you step outside. There's a short that we made about this. You can see the view from the top of the mountain. Of course, it's more smoky in low-lying areas. Oh my gosh, should you wear masks for air pollution? Oh geez, it's goodness gracious me, folks. Goodness graciousness. That is fully berserk. Should you wear masks for air pollution? All right. So let's see what other stories we've got here at cbsnews.com as we monitor solar activity and earthly activity simultaneously. By the way, our next stop is cnbc.com, so stay tuned for their headlines. Mike Pence and some other guy from New Jersey have both announced presidential bids. Are you excited? I'm super excited, folks. Oh my God. Chris Christie and Mike Pence are going to run. Have you, have you booked your summer yet? Make sure you go to wherever those guys are speaking. That sounds like some exciting times, eh? Hey. Pardon the sarcasm. All right, so let's leave this horrifying sight. Air purification stocks up 14% on news about smoke enveloping East Coast. Just kidding, folks. Boeing sued for stealing intellectual property, counterfeiting tools used on NASA projects. Whoops. Amazon is pursuing too many ideas. It needs to focus on what works, says analyst. New York City area flights delayed as what? Really? Visibility delaying flights. Wow, I've never heard of that. That is, look at the level of smokiness. That is some smokified goodness right there. Criminy. That seagull is like, dude, Canada, chill. Canada, chill with the arson. Just kidding, folks. Everybody chill with the arson. And continuing on. Bernie Sanders' price of Alzheimer's treatment is unconscionable. Calls on HHS to take action. All right. I better not comment on this one. I'll be saying things that'll have this live stream demonetized. All right, so what do we got, folks? What do we got? We got a solar uptick. What's the current situation with X-rays and so on? I haven't checked for a while, as I was out doing approximately a 2-hour bike ride, including one large climb. So this was the solar flare that happened 14 minutes before this morning's Daily Space Weather video premiere. And it looks like just a few minutes ago. Had a C 9.22 class flare, almost an M class. Let's see what area has activated this time by breaking out the SDO browse data. Let's do the full screen Monty. This will be sweet. All right, just today. And how about 131? Looks like a crazy CME happened too. Yowzers. Man, that flare looked bigger than reported. What do you think? Let us know in the comments. No, maybe not. A decent M-class flare. What do we got? That one was an M, all right, almost an M5, so that's pretty significant flare. There's a close-up for you. Mike, I have no idea how buying a Tesla would... How would buying a Tesla benefit anything that's being talked about on the video? Keep in mind, folks, Mike is a Tesla sycophant. He has a large share stake holding in their stock. I don't know why you keep telling people to buy a Tesla. It's ridiculous. I mean, dude, take all your eggs out of one basket. It's a terrible idea. Is it too smoky in your neighborhood? Buy a Tesla. That'll solve things. All right, let's go check a different type of publication here. Instead of something like CNBC, let's head to SciTech Daily. There we go. Now we're back to the 3 screens. You can take up a small amount of the screen. Science publication. Oh my goodness, look at the... Jeez. No. Do not send me notifications. Ever. Flipping the fat burn switch. What do you think? Oh, it's... I've never seen such a thing. I'm going to have nightmares about that, folks. All right, let me make sure these solar animations here are active. Looks good, I think. Is it good? Are they active? The heck? I blame Google Chrome for all of the world's woes. When in doubt, it's Google Chrome's fault. What the heck? Okay, there we go. At least one of them's animated. Anyway. SciTech Daily, yeah, scitechdaily.com. Check them out. We cover their stories regularly. They cover stuff quickly. They cover stuff when it happens promptly. So we talk about their publications regularly on the channel. Man, like a strange position for some reason. I only stream videos every day, folks. what's up with it? Brown adipose tissue, right? Brown fat is the good fat. It breaks down blood sugar and fat molecules to create heat and help maintain body temperature. So this is part of the reason why lots of people immerse themselves in cold and hot. It's a known thing for endurance athletes to intentionally try to obtain brown adipose tissue. So this is sort of not anything new at all. Brown adipose. Use cold therapy to build the brown fat, which is beneficial in various ways. Researchers warn global warming of up to 3 degrees likely. Anybody? I keep losing contact with the server for some reason. The YouTube server, for some reason the chat keeps timing out to my device. Because when you're a content creator, it has to be as annoying as humanly possible. Alright, so up to 3 degrees. No indication on the units. What kind of degrees they're talking about? Would that be Celsius, I imagine? Celsius. More and more countries are promising that they will phase out the coal from the energy programs, which is positive. But unfortunately, their commitments are not strong enough. If we are able to have a realistic chance of meeting the 2-degree target, the phasing out of coal needs to happen faster, says Ale Chirp. Ale Chirp. That's a great name. Former ornithologist, now climate professor at the International Institute for Industrial Environmental Economics at Lund University. China and India need to begin phasing out the coal. I've never said this. I am only reading from the article, as I would never have such a controversial opinion. These sorts of things could indicate that I have certain bigotry in my soul. Speaking of souls, hopefully yours hasn't been cast into the river Styx. Leave us a comment if your soul has been cast into the river Styx. If you are viewing the video from a different timeline, dimension, universe, multiverse, plane of existence, spaceship, star system, planetary system, if you're an actual star or galactic core who's conscious and watching these videos, drop us a line. And whatever you do, don't end civilization. If you end civilization, we won't be able to have streams like this one and talk to all of our otherwise highly unlikely pals on the internet. So what else is going on? Stellar archaeology. Chemical clues reveal supernova secrets from the universe's first stars. Now, anybody who does cosmology and doesn't know that everybody knows that, but chemical, it's like, okay, that is true. Yes, metals, they come from systems with type 2 stars, folks. I don't know why this would be news. Anyway, we won't cover it because it's elementary, my dear cosmologist. AI demonstrates superior performance in predicting breast cancer. A lot of these stories have been out there for a while. Being able to detect nuancy things on bodily tissue scans and so forth. SpaceX Dragon arrives with USS pioneering science experiments at solar arrays. That's good. Private space flight. It's fantastic. Thanks, Elon. That is a good thing. We are delighted about the SpaceX program, especially when they don't destroy their spacecraft by launching into solar storms. Elon, aren't you watching the channel, dude? Seriously? Okay. Fun fact, when NASA, Tamitha Skov, and our channel agree on solar forecasts, like, solar storms and so on, we're not often wrong. way there is the series of different modules. 5 spaceships are docked, including the SpaceX Dragon, Endeavour, SpaceX Dragon cargo craft, and Roskomaros-Soyuz MS-23 cruise ship, and Progress 83 and 84 resupply ships. Just in case you needed to see a full-size image of that. There you go. That is a busy place. Let that sink in. And allow this section of the video to be a moment of silence for all of our pals on the internet who think space is fake. In other words, I'll be back in about 1 minute. Got to make sure everything's okay in the bunker. BRB, y'all. What? All right, I've come back from the bunker again. It'll be your favorite place in which the world will end. 'Cause you'll be hiding in a bunker again. All right, so seriously, you got any news stories? I mean, what's going on? Is there something major happening because there are no interesting news stories? Or is it just Chris Christie, some smoke, and Mike Pence have announced their run for president? Could you think of anything less interesting? Let's check out some more news via how about, first of all, let's go back to the 3-pane view, because it's a pain to put news sites. And actually, let's do a little modification here. I'm going to show the deabsorption region instead on Google Chrome. There we go. That's better. Show that instead. And then we'll show 304 angstroms here. And then we will use Opera Gaming. It's quite good. Quite good, folks. And of course, one of the features that we like in a browser is for it to block ads. So I'm like all over the place. My layers, folks, my layers. I've screwed up my layers. No, I created a new layer for this video, and that's why the live stream started out with no sound. Sorry about that. Let's actually take a look at the state of affairs. the hell? Let's look at the state of affairs over Pennsylvania once again here. We're going to show you a little higher zoom for a minute. Show you some nice animated satellite imagery of some smoky places. We'll go to a medium zoom here. We're going to go right up to the... We're going to put that right on the... just south of Binghamton, New York there, folks. Let me get off the screen because this keying is designed for a black background. All right. So there indeed is a lot of smoke. And you can see some very thick plumes there. Really, they're making their way our way. So that's actually part of the reason why we don't want this stream to be too long, because we are planning on going out and making another short video about this because it's going to get so smoky. Bike racing actually got canceled last night because of smoke. Of course, it's mainly, I think it's juniors and Cat 3s on down or something like that. I don't remember, as I'm not a track racing specialist. I only do timed events on the track. I mainly do road time trials is my main thing. Anyway, that's the situation with smoke on the east side of things, and lots of smoke here having just blown across Ontario. If you want to see the inner workings, we can show you the We'll go to the south shore of Lake Ontario. So there's what's going on the visible satellite. And then this will be the same zoom on the water vapor map. As additional cold air blows down from Canada. It got super windy on my bike ride today, like about, let's see, it must have been about 17 miles in, something like that. 15 to 17 miles in. It just got super windy. There you can see the visible satellite there versus the water vapor map. And oftentimes, this is people not understanding the atmospheric physics of this water vapor map is what causes people to think that there's some kind of funny business going on. But sometimes the atmosphere does weird things. And it doesn't necessarily mean anybody is doing it. So, and of course I bring up a common theme in the sport of bicycle racing, which is wattage. You know, people are always talking about wattage per kilogram, and so on. And, you know, one of the big arguments about this nonsense that mankind controls what large-scale weather patterns and the climate is the simple argument of wattage. And also you can say with respect to the climate, heat latency, but I won't even go there. I'm just talking about wattage. This is for people that think that, oh, what is the theory? It's that planes contrails in the troposphere are geoengineering because they reflect sunlight, but they also allow people to control the weather through deployment of HARP bases, which is, I don't even know where to start with that. These ideas are so ridiculous. I mean, first of all, if you deposit things in the troposphere, they stay up there for less than a day. they come down immediately. So it's not effective to reflect solar radiation back to space. That's the first thing. I mean, the second thing of note is probably that multi-million-dollar jet owners, people that entities that own multi-million-dollar jets, they don't want weird chemicals placed in the jet engines. That's another valid point. Another point is, how come pilots don't know about this vast conspiracy? Another point is, where are the trucks that are filling up the planes with chemicals? Another point is, why aren't they using the stratosphere where the chemicals would stay up there for a long period of time? Another point is, contrails are visible clouds that are caused by a low pressure zone and condensation and a tiny amount of particulate that comes out of a jet engine. It is an artificial cloud. It is pollution. I'll give you that. It's not geoengineering, as it would be an intentional. Geoengineering would be an intentional attempt to affect things. So for everybody, you hear the same arguments. The same herp derps that you hear on Facebook are saying the exact same thing that the herp derps on Facebook are saying to me, as well as people on Instagram, Twitter, etc. It's kind of fun, actually. I mean, I gotta say, the contrails, chemtrails, oh man, it's some classic nonsense. And one of my favorites is, I think you need to get a booster. When you go, oh, but if it's geoengineering, then how come it's not in the stratosphere? And why can you see it? And why don't we have planes flying in the stratosphere? And then, of course, you'll get this one. I mean, people that I know and I have covered up all the loose ends for this. There is no valid reason to believe these things are real. Fire suppression systems in planes, those are not chemtrails. Ballast systems to simulate human passengers and loads shifting around in planes, those are not chemtrails. Cloud seeding to seed Coloradan ski slopes with snow, especially early in the season, those aren't chemtrails. Bulgarians firing surface-to-air missiles containing silver iodide at thunderstorms to divert hail from crops are not chemtrails. Contrails in the troposphere, all around airports, all the time, in certain atmospheric conditions, those aren't chemtrails either. Persistent contrails are also not chemtrails. They're documented back into the 1940s, before cloud seeding was known about at all. Have I missed anything? Probably something. Let us know in the comments if I've missed any of the ridiculous myths about chemtrails. One of the dumbest, I believe the dumbest is flat Earth, followed by chemtrails, followed by electric universe. As far as the three things that have the largest following, it's flat Earth is the dumbest, chemtrails is damn close, and then electric universe is a close third. And of course, it depends on what you're, I don't know, that it's, some of these things are a little bit nebulously defined, right? But depending on what your definition of these things are, it's pretty stupid. Plenty of herp derps online are arguing about it right now. There's a guy furiously typing on a smartphone going, didn't you know that NASA's was founded by Nazis? And it's like, yeah, Operation Paperclip. Everybody's known about this for decades. It's not a mystery. Like, you're not giving anybody anything new. There's technology to do this. There's technology to do that. Is it being done? No, generally not. Let's say I have the ability to, do something disastrous. Let's say I have the ability to create an oil slick on a local road, on a hairpin turn, on a mountain descent/ascent. And I decide to just hurl an oil slick on there so the cars just crash out of the turn all the time, right? I could do that. I have the technology to do that. But am I going to do it with absolutely no motive or purpose to doing it? Just asking a question here, folks. Like, do you do a thing for absolutely no reason? It's not. Who does that? Just about nobody. Yeah, China geoengineers. China has ground-based geoengineering stations on the ground, hence the term ground-based, on the Tibetan Plateau to attempt to, I guess it's basically to steal India's water, give or take. They're trying to divert the jet stream in such a way that the monsoon season makes the Tibetan Plateau more moist. Son of a... I'm standing right in the face of Fauci, and what a cursed location. Son of a piece of Ah, yes. And this rage moment was brought to you by the Fauci Face of Evil bath mat. If you ain't got one, why not pick one up from the Red Bubble Shop? It's not do the math. It's the Fauci Face of Evil. So I've got a lovely bath mat. And in fact, right now, I'm actually... How about this? I'm actually on Fauci's face right now. So, Fauci wears a red mask, yeah, says you should wear too. Ah, yes. Fauci, the face of evil. I have my right foot right on his face right now. Why? Because I have the large-size Fauci Face of Evil bath mat. If you'd like to put your face... Well, don't put your face. If you'd like to put your foot on Fauci's face, there you go. There are coasters. There's your bath mat. How about that? Step out of the shower every day with athlete's foot or without. And put your face, put his face right underneath your foot with the Fauci Face of Evil bath mat. What could go right? You get the idea. Since it was passed, the First Amendment always limited what kind of people could open their face and what kind of face opening they could do. You couldn't just go out there and buy a megaphone. If you went out there and bought a megaphone, the U.S. would have to scramble directed energy weapons and microwave jamming technology. Yeah, the Fauci Face of Evil poster. How about that? $17. Have Fauci's face right there on your wall. The Face of Evil. It always seems to identify itself, and then people just follow it anyway. They go, what could possibly go wrong with that person who's lied repeatedly and created an obvious state of systemic and apparent intentional misrepresentation of material facts, otherwise known as fraud. I can't imagine why anybody would want, quote, retribution. They're talking about, Trump wants retribution. Millions of Americans want retribution because they're not forgetting about what occurred the past 3 years. Are ya? Will accountability come for Fauci? Let us know in the comments. Yes. All right, so I'll take that monstrosity off the screen. And let's see if we've had any quality CMEs going on today. Anything exciting going on in that realm? I could have sworn I saw one happening. Let's cross our fingers and hope that it's earthly directed. All right. And I don't see any indication that there's anything Halo-like there. If there is something, it's kind of stealthy. Let us know in the comments what you think. Is there anybody there? I see 5 viewers, I think. And this stream has been more confusing for me than it's been for you. Maybe there's too much Canadian smoke in my brain. Anyway, by the way, it smells like Douglas fir. The last time I stepped outside, is it Douglas fir that's burning? Mike, let us know in the comments if it's Douglas fir. That's what I think is currently burning. Oh, I see comments. Hey, check it out. For some reason, my quote smart and quote phone doesn't seem to function. Great. So my streaming software shows me the comments, and my quote smartphone fails. All right. Canada. It's like the California, but to the north instead of to the west. Just stop with the self-destructing, folks. I mean, here at the Smash News Network, we feel the pain of people who are tired of seeing all the self-destructing, all the unintentional wasting and misusing of resources. So I'm going to drink this lovely beverage, which will remain unnamed, in honor of. Let's drink to less self-destruction, shall we? Jeez. All right. So yeah, is that a thing too? Is it like it's Canada doing weather warfare? It's too dry in southeastern Canada, so they've decided to burn down the forest in order to divert the low pressure from Maine over to. You see what I'm saying? That's what he's saying. That's what it is, folks. So we got this low up here. Look at it. It's got some moisture, right? So all you got to do is just start some fires right here. That's my purple fire. There's a lovely fire there. It's got a frowny face. I'm a mean fire. And see that smoke, it's gonna blow down this way, and then that's gonna leave empty space here, and the low is gonna head over here, thereby stealing rain from the U.S. almost like a mini China. If that geoengineering was from the U.S., it would be totally effective. There'd be billions and billions of people would be dead already. Okay. Fortunately, it's just cheap, ripped-off geoengineering from China being used by Canada. It's never going to work, Canada. Okay? Look at all that smoke. If those fires were in the U.S., you'd have Maryland and Virginia would be completely covered with smoke. The U.S., we just got that go-getting spirit here. Not like people in China. All they do is make fake Callaway golf clubs and Nikes. Knockoff Nikes, no less. Oh, and by the way, look at the geoengineering going on here. They've got HARP turned off right at the shoreline. They only want it to be cloudy on the land, folks. Okay. Here, let's show a close-up of that. Check it out, folks. Here's geoengineering happening on the north shore of Lake Huron. Send Justin Trudeau some angry letters, folks, because check it out. Look at that. You see, here's where you have your HARP bases turned on. And then right here, whoops, no HARP bases. It's totally not caused by the wind accelerating here, causing the pressure to rise and causing this water vapor to evaporate. It's not caused by the acceleration of winds across the water or anything. It's not caused by that. It's man-made phenomenon. because I don't understand how weather works. You see where I'm going here? Look at the fires. Son of a bit turn. By the way, that's a real thing. All right, let's check out some fire sources up here. Mike, what's the best fire source? Let's do the full map view. Oh my God, look at all the chemtrails up there. Look at all the chemtrails, folks. They're right next to the unicorns and leprechauns. Yeah, and you see all this funky stuff going on right here? You see all this stuff? That is caused by stagnant air. This is what causes people to think chemtrails are a thing. Watch this. If you look at the skies over Nebraska, you got all these puffy clouds that are just like forming and dissipating and stuff. That's caused by stagnation. That's caused by tiny little shifts in the temperature, pressure, and humidity. You get these funky patterns forming there. Keep in mind there are also striations to the land, so some of that air is moving up and down. You can see some of the variation there. There's also some upper level cirrus clouds here rolling in over the top, indicating a higher pressure system above, which is probably corroborated by the jet stream there, making some influence on that area. This is the high pressure zone, kind of, as there's cold air blowing in from Canada. Anyway, it seems like a boring news day. So once again, let's just go find some more chemtrails. How about, let's go to a medium zoom over Central Texas. This will be a good one. Let's show people some things that aren't chemtrails. All right, so you see these little, like, they look like little ribs in the sky there. Those are not chemtrails. So you see all these little things going this way, and then this main thing going this way. None of those are chemtrails. And let's zoom in all the way. Let's do the full zoom here. Get a little closer view of that. It'll be right there. Did I miss it? I think I'm at the wrong spot. What's up with that? I thought I knew where it was. I know what happened there, by the way. The government quickly hid the data before I was able to get it back up on the screen. The heck? I thought it was... All right, anyway, let's go to a low zoom, and then it'll be fine. You'll be able to see it. It's another pressure gradient zone. You've got air that's trying to reach static equilibrium happening there. You can clearly see that this area over here is of a completely different pressure environment than this area right here. And this cloud here is part of the process to reach equilibrium. Now, the important point is, where is that thing? Oh, it's It's in Oklahoma. All right. Duh. All right. So this is a prime example of a thing that people will look at the satellite image and say, look, that's a chemtrail. The resolution on this image, folks, is 1 kilometer. So every pixel on there, if you zoom all the way in, is 1 kilometer. So let's do that. There's a 500% zoom, okay? The individual pixels on there are 1 kilometer. So if you think this is a contrail, or that any of these are contrails, you are berserk. It would be, this is, well, there's a key somewhere. There's got to be a key. There's no key. Are you kidding me? Well, anyway, the point is it's 1 kilometer. If you can see a plane, you could be able to see a plane contrail on there, theoretically, if it expands massively. And sometimes they do. It doesn't mean that there's any nefarious chemicals in the plane. It just simply doesn't. Now, you can say it does all day, but it doesn't change the fact that there's no evidence of this. It's just made up nonsense. I love when people, they all send the same websites too. There's like 2 websites that I think are paid a lot of money to just put up complete nonsense about what's going on in the spooky, spooky skies. Everything's going to kill you, folks. Space is going to kill you. Don't go out and look up, because there's just, death is just awaiting you at every turn. Oh my God, smoke. It's, I swear to you, I rode a little bit more slowly than normal today. And, well, because the ride was just to ride easy up a big mountain and not, like, kill myself doing it, right? I just did it even though it was smoky. And I took 0 damage. There was plenty left in the gas tank after 26 miles, which isn't long, and the ride wasn't fast, nor was it designed to be. But it's one of those situations where if you don't have any sort of respiratory conditions, you might feel a little dried out. And of course, you could be allergic to pine smoke or something like that, right? So that, you know, it could be very serious. But it's my cue to go outside, just like a blizzard or a 100+ degree day. Once again, there's the water vapor map. Totally sweet. Just cold air blasting down from Canada, and bringing with it a little bit of not just particulate, but also gas. Tis a gassy place, Canada. And actually, you can see right here, this is likely a rivulet where more material is going to get sucked through, because this is a high pressure and this is a high pressure. So you can see as this rotates around, more air is going to get driven down. So you can expect to see some smoke in places like Delaware and Maryland in the coming 24 hours because of what I just said. It also means it's going to get extra smoky here in Lehigh Valley. So if you're viewing from around my location, cheers. The smoke will continue. Go out and enjoy the natural solar filtering. Go out and check out the ever popular lovely sunsets. Hopefully we'll have some clouds, but it looks like it's gonna be crystal clear to see the murky skies over Pennsylvania. So always interesting. Again, we'll probably put up 1 or 2 more short videos later today about this. It's an epic natural disaster. It's just fun stuff. Fun stuff, folks. And what's the flaring situation here? Let's check out. The most recent activity here as far as radio blackout predictions. That's the M-class flare from this morning. That was when our video was premiering. Pretty strong, nearly M5 class flare. A lot of significant radio interference there around 1800, 1830 through 1900 universal time over especially the southwestern U.S. A little bit of signal attenuation there from incoming solar X-rays. Seriously, any news stories? We'll cover. All right, I got an idea. Oh, you know what? Here's something I almost forgot. We recently put up a new advertisement. So you may have seen the Amazon shop. Today's featured product from this morning's daily space weather video is still the active tab for our Amazon shop. Oh my God, my hand is just full of dark matter. Which does not matter. What matters is this shirt. Check it out. I'm a bit of a What is happening? I'm being keyed out, folks. They're keying us out, folks. Yeah, today's featured product is that. But also, in addition to our other spaceware, you can get your chrome hat there, of course. We've also put a series of books. And check this one out. It's Designed for Lay People by Alexander Unziker, The Liquid Sun. So check that out on our Amazon shopping list. Amazon.com/shop/smAsho. You can find that there. This one is not designed for the heliophysics experts. It is designed to tell people about the upcoming revolution in the realm of cosmology as a result of new, recent, and super interesting what's the right word? Discoveries, breakthroughs, observations, refutations, perhaps, of existing theories. Again, it's Amazon.com/shop/smAsho. You can find links on our homepage to the Amazon shop as well. Some other interesting books that we recently just put in there. And if you've got any recommendations, drop us a line and let us know what you'd like to be covered. As these Wednesday weekly streams are largely for you, the viewer, as there is only so much stuff that we are interested in ranting about. So a bunch of suggested reading there. You may find some of that interesting. You may find that interesting. And you may find the daily space weather videos interesting. So if you haven't seen those, highly recommend it. And I'm going to take one more break here, and I'm going to come back and talk about who knows what. I have no idea. So drop us a line in the comments, and I'll be back shortly. Check it out, a CME happening while we stream the video. So that's always classic. Check it out. We'll put that back on here for a minute. And again, I will be back here in just a moment here at the Smash News Network, least busted name. in news. Yeah, so like I said, CME there, kicking off in the southeastern limb. Also some instability happening down here ahead of that. So it's been known to happen, folks. It's been known to happen. And you can expect it to keep happening for a couple of years. At similar scales, that is. So, yeah. I guess the news is huge solar uptick. I wonder if we have those sunspot groups named yet. Let's check and see what ISWA has to say about it. We're going to head to a different browser here. And we'll look at our sunspot probability and solar flare monitoring site. And of course, these videos, our daily space weather videos, are designed for you, the viewer, to understand how to basically do my job. There's nothing that's particularly mysterious here, although when we release the paper about solar sunspot cycles, you might think that's kind of mysterious. Anyway, here's the situation. Geez, we got sunspots up here in the southeast, in the northeast, that are just not named. I don't know what's going on with that. It's kind of bizarre. Because if you look at the latest imagery, there's the latest refresh. There's the other refresh. Well, there's at least one group that's not named. Oh, that group down there is not named either, right? What's up with that? That one's not named yet? That's been there for way more than 24 hours. There's no excuse to not have that named. I think there are 3 groups that ought to get names yet. 3330. So there's like... Yeah, there are 3 unnamed sunspot groups. So, I don't know. Maybe somebody's on vacation. But for some reason, we got unnamed and hence uncounted sunspots. So, I don't know what to say besides them is the facts. Those are facts, and that's basically what I'm interested in. By the way, if you ever wanted to look at a closer analysis of what some other people think, you can always look at the solar synoptic map. This will show you like a drawing that somebody does every day. This time it was done by John. And so there's the synoptic map, and that depicts prominences, filaments, coronal holes, magnetic fields, active regions, a lot of different features. Doesn't typically have to really be shown too much. See, it was done this morning, kind of around when our video premiered, actually. And there's all the info about when he looked at each thing. Whole disk forecast, 10% chance of X flares there. So, but some gigantic filaments here. The heck? Does he have that as a coronal hole? It is basically a drawing of a photosphere magnetism. Yeah, it looks like he has an active region drawn there. I don't know. It's a mystery. It's somewhat of a mystery. But there are definitely some sunspots that could that ought to get names. Once again, here's the latest image. This is that's 1915 Universal Time. I just pressed refresh. 1915. You will see a lot of sunspots. There's the northwest. See 3 distinct groups there in the northeast. A larger group to its east, and then a small, looks like it's alpha class sunspot to its southeast. Then you've got this new sunspot, and I think that's actually 2 sunspots. Let's check it out. There's a trailing umbra, and then there's a second similarly large sunspot there. It looks like 2 sunspots. What do you got? You got south. So let's see. The trailing umbra. Leading umbra is south. Trailing umbra is also south. All right. Settled. That's 1 sunspot. We'll call that 1 sunspot. I suspect McIntosh, Scove, and Dr. Keith Strong would agree. So yeah. Anyway, looks like 1 sunspot. Here's the rock back. It's pretty large. I mean, sunspots that have a fields like this are a little bit more likely to produce major flares typically. You can see a lot of magnetic shear right around this area. So, you know, a bunch of mixed up umbrae like that don't know which polarity they are. Those are the ones that are known to, oh, pardon my facial overlap. These videos are popping straight out of the sun, folks. And as our regular viewers are well aware, Our comment section is the proper section in which to leave comments directly for the closest star. People are convinced the sun watches our videos. Let us know what you think. We do regularly hear stuff about the idea that, hey, the ancients thought stars were conscious. Why don't you? Of course, what the ancients thought are not necessarily an appropriate reason to do a thing, right? So don't misconstrue what I'm saying. The ancients were involved in cannibalism, therefore it's a great idea. Note the sarcasm there, just in case you are confused. Don't eat people. That's always a bad idea. Let's cover some composite imagery here. I'm going to rant about whatever I like as this CME unfolds a little bit more. By the way, there's also some activity kind of simmering at the top, at the northern hemisphere up here. We are seeing some ground prominences up there. But the main story here at the moment is this huge prominence in the northeastern limb and this currently erupting coronal mass ejection in the southeastern limb. All right. So there's today's imagery in multiple wavelengths. Make that a little bit larger. Keep in mind that is 3 wavelengths there. It's a composite. 94, 193, and 335. 335 is green. 193 is cobalt blue, like violet. And 94 angstroms is depicted in red in this imagery. So just realize that. Let's zoom out one step. There's the full view. And we should totally cut to a full screen of that one because that is good stuff. All right. So it's about time to end this this stream. Once again, if there's anything you'd like, if you'd like anything ranted about, let us know in the comments. I see 8 of you there. If you haven't pressed like and subscribe, then let me just say this. If you haven't pressed like, subscribe, and comment, your soul will be cast into an ever-deepening and darkening abyss of doom, destruction, and doggy diarrhea. That is not a future that you want. So make sure you press like, subscribe, and comment if you haven't already done so. Now, if you've already done all of that, you could always press share. But if you're somebody who has been, you know, one of those people who nobody sees your posts on social media, are you one of those people? Because if so, then don't press share because you'll get us less views. I'm just kidding, folks. And check it out. So I'm having a personal crisis, and I may take my watch, which is a Seiko 5 Kinetic. I may take this watch and hit it with a hockey stick or something because it is royally pissing me off. So it's got one of these rotating bezels, which I use for cooking when I can turn it. And guess what? I can't turn it. I thought it was just kind of tight from being new, but it's over a decade old, so that's not working out. And once again, why the hell am I not seeing the freaking comments on my smart device? I mean, I have the stream running right here. I'm viewing the stream as a viewer, and it's utterly busted. It makes no sense. I don't know if it's timed out or... YouTube, write software that works. And how about this? Stop monetize... Dude. Oh my gosh. I'm about to snap for real. YouTube, stop demonetizing our videos for absolutely no reason. It's How about this? Write software that functions and stop demonetizing our videos for no reason. What is up with it? It doesn't make the slightest bit of sense. It's not what's said in the video. It's clearly not the title. It's magic. It's algorithmic magic. Write some AI that has I. Focus on the I. Because you're artificially jacking up your own software. So focus on the I. You have the A down. You're artificially putting your thumb on the scale and you have no idea what you're doing. You are like a bull in a china shop of software. Learn to code. I got out of the software game for sports. So I stand by that decision. Always will. Man, oh man. I have to wonder if the software world would be different had I gotten a degree in computer science instead of going into sports. Because, dude, software is so busted. What are you people doing that work for these NASDAQ companies? It's mind-boggling. I mean, you're self-destructing on the California scale. What do we have here? Anyway, I can see the comments now. Now that I'm not using my smartphone. It's so smart that it doesn't function. And look, I've been diverted to a website that I did not click on. If you want to see software that doesn't function, I swear to you, become a content creator. Get yourself a monetized channel on YouTube, and you will see software that is so busted that it's ultra obvious that it is intentionally busted. It's not a failure, it is a feature. What is this? Oh my God. Look at all the comments that we have that I couldn't see because I had to leave the video and come back or something. I don't know. Remember, folks, the first thing tech support asks anybody is your device plugged in and is it able to turn on? All right, so yes, the bunker bunch, that could be a thing. And Mike, why would you put your personal number in the live chat? Are you nuts? All right, cool. That's not exactly a vote of confidence on how popular the video is going to be, right? What if this video gets 10 trillion views, Mike? You might get 10 million phone calls. All right, seriously, let me get through these comments because there are like 4 trillion comments, and sorry I didn't get to them earlier, but I was repeatedly looking at this, quote, smartphone, which is about as smart as a dog's ass and about as full of shh as... All right, I'm trying to get through the comments, folks. There are way too many for me to cover, so... But thank you for leaving them. Yes. So what else is going on? Make sure you leave any additional comments because this stream is about to end abruptly. Oh, hey, he brings up a good point. Smoke is pretty satanic, right? Because where there's smoke, there's fire. And where there's fire, there's Satan. Evil spirits. Only evil spirits could possibly have created such infernos to drive people into their homes and their bunkers. which are fortunately NBC fortified because they're spending like $10 billion on elevators so they can get their forklift into bunker level 2. Make sure you get a 2-story bunker, folks, but not a 4-story. 4-story bunkers are very dangerous, but 2-story bunkers are very safe because reasons. Because reasons. Space, it's scary. Ooh, look at the sun. I'm spooked. Oh, no. Oh, it's gonna burn my penis from my body. Oh, my God. It's gonna put a 3rd-degree burn on my scrotum. No. Oh, no. The plasma will rain down. We'll have to wear earrings to ground us for some reason. Yeah. Did you know that, folks? Yeah. Earrings. Earrings are because the universe is electric. Did you know that? Yeah. Why else? Why else would it be? Earrings prove the universe is electric. Cave paintings prove the universe is electric. Quantum mechanics proves that everything is electric because vibration and frequency. Did you know that? Yeah. Now, I would be wearing a crystal. I apologize. I have no crystal on at the moment. However, when I regain access to my amulet, I will be wearing it, and wearing it proudly, as it has its own energy, folks. It has its own vibration. You know, because things have a temperature, which means they're vibrating. It has a thermal emission, so it's. Yeah. Oh, hey, I've got an announcement since we've got so many viewers who ought to be in the chat. We've got an announcement because we're putting out an awesome video this weekend featuring your souls being cast into an ever-deepening and darkening abyss of bad videos and science content all mixed together. We will make fun of things and laugh hysterically, and also talk about frontiers of actual science. If that doesn't sound like fun, I don't know what does. I'm personally frightened. I'm going to actually make bunker depth measurements tonight just to make sure that it's going to be okay, because I am very concerned about the possibility that it could be very dangerous at certain bunker depths, but not other bunker depths. By the way, if you'd like to purchase some bunker tubs, make sure you visit our Amazon store for that as well at amazon.com/shop/smAsho. And look, my fist is full of dark matter, which means you don't want a piece of that. Is it more massive than a black hole? Will it form a black hole that'll envelop your soul? Probably not. Those might be outlandish theories, but who knows? Anyway, I'll be doing things similar to this, but differently in the future. And as far as comments, thanks everybody for leaving so many comments. Sorry we couldn't really respond to more of them, as, again, this isn't some kind of scam video that wasn't live streamed and like recorded or anything like that. It was just because I see one right now where Mike says at 3:45 p.m. 911 was an inside job. Yes, that's right. Of course, because when you have motive, means, and opportunity to do a thing, you do it sometimes, right? But if you don't, hey, what do you think of my star mic? Check it out. My microphone is made of stars. Yes, there's gravitational lensing going on my microphone. Hopefully, your soul is not being gravitationally lensed into the river Styx. So, we'll be back with another Daily Space Weather video tomorrow. I'm probably going to go out shortly. We're hoping that it's even smokier shortly here. So, and let's close out the video with that. Some additional images of Smoke Fest 2023 in Pennsylvania. Yeah, Smoke Fest. It's fun times. If you smoke 'em if you got 'em here in Pennsylvania. We're gonna by the way, those of you who get that joke are probably horrified. Let's zoom in on that same spot there. Yeah, right there. As cold air continues to blow straight out of Canada, almost like Ice Cube and Eazy-E and Dr. Dre, except not. It's a different brand of smoke. Yeah, a different brand. It's not the Chronic. It's the Douglas Firs, I think. Isn't that primarily what it is? Mr. Bordages. I believe that it is primarily Douglas Fir. And holy, did you see me vanish? Smash News Network. To heck with you. Yeah. Dude, it is smoky. It is the congratulations on surviving a global scamdemic and the current smokeout. Dag, it's a straight up smokeout going on here in Eastern PA, and I'm pretty sure I made a forecast there with the water vapor map. Here it is again. The water vapor map there showing a little breakthrough spot. So this little spot here is going to bring a little bit of that smoke a little bit farther south, which I'm delighted about. I mean, I don't know, maybe you're frightened. Maybe you just like the lovely sunsets. Who knows? But yeah, it's going to drive a little bit farther south. You can see this is already starting to break down a little bit. So that area right there, as it's going, that dry air that's going over central Lake Erie. Just to the east of that, there's moister air, and that's going to allow a little bit of intrusion farther south. So you'll probably see, like the Jersey Shore, we'll probably actually see, like, Seaside Heights and so on. The city in New Jersey depicted on the beloved MTV reality show Jersey Shore. Yes, it is in driving distance of where I am located. It's like in no traffic, it's maybe 2 hours. If you don't drive like a sociopath. If you do drive like a sociopath, maybe an hour and a half. Don't drive like a sociopath in the Jersey Turnpike. And, well, I mean, if you can help it, don't drive in Jersey, period. But, so, yeah, that's, it's going to be a continued interesting situation. And, hey, Canada, I don't know. It's probably good for the plants. There's additional carbon. There is additional carbon showing up. And, so I would ask you, the viewer, have you burned a tire today? Have you done your part to increase your carbon footprint? That's what you're supposed to do, right? You're supposed to increase your carbon footprint to make the planet warmer or something? That'll make it easier to grow crops in Canada earlier or something like that, right? Canadians, back me up on this. You guys are increasing your carbon footprint by burning all those trees, correct? Just checking. It's a little unclear as to the science and logic behind some of the reasoning. So anyway, let's see. Again, there are a lot of comments, so thanks for leaving all of those. Yeah, Mike likes the moon landing. You know, the moon landing was fake. Mike likes that one. Yeah, it's... No, I don't think the moon landing... No, I do not think the moon landing was fake. Do I think the spacecraft were very flimsy and it was a very sort of seat-of-the-pants operation? Hell yeah. Do I think Apollo 13 was an amazing engineering feat and savior and strange proof of the bad luck of the number 13, perhaps? Perhaps. Or maybe it was just a superstition itself that jinxed them because they told them that they'd be jinxed by the number 13. You know about that? That's a very strange thing. The Apollo 13 mission, I won't get into it on this stream because, well, it's just a bunch of facts. I mean, the way they launched, they did it on purpose. They did it on purpose, basically, to disprove the bad luck. And it didn't really work out very well. In fact, what they did is reinforced it to the moonth degree. Does that make sense? They reinforced it to the moonth degree. And I'm still reading comments. Again, thanks everybody for leaving so many comments. And if you want the stream to continue, just, I guess, keep leaving more forever. And we'll keep commenting on them until your souls are cast into an ever-shallowing and more sunny abyss of lovely fungal growth, which is edible, and not only edible, but tasty. Because there's a difference between edible and tasty, right? Yes, so again, thanks everybody who left comments, etc. To the rest of you, you'll pay dearly. Probably for things like gas and food. I would suspect. And, man, my scroll got ruined. I was scrolling all smooth here, and then something happened. So, man, what is up with that? Somebody says we're shadow banned. How dare you? Stop the presses. Stop the presses, folks. If we are shadow banned, your soul will be banned from... Yes, the video has been demonetized. Yes. Thank you, YouTube. It's always a good idea. There's no better way to promote content than to demonetize it so it's not recommended anywhere, right? I mean, what else would you do? See, and check it out. Here's the best part. I'm unable to get it to get reviewed because when I click request human review, it doesn't work. Yes. That is some YouTube software for you. Thank you very much. Yes. Yep. Can't request review. So here's what I can request. That the stream end abruptly with a giant middle finger to certain big tech organizations. Dear criminal organizations, accountability always comes, so enjoy that. I will as well. In the meantime, May that solar wind be at your back. Back to the bunker, prick. Whoa!